Howdy partners, it's your old buddy the Reddit writer. Welcome back to the Reddit Ranch. Come in and sit a spell and listen to the mighty fine tales I gotta tell. This one is from a tenderfoot that moves his girlfriend in even though everyone is against it.
AITA for moving my girlfriend back in against my kids' and therapist's wishes? I am a widower with 2 kids. My daughter is 18 and my son is 19. Both are in community college and living at home. I have been widowed for 2 years and my girlfriend has been living with us since June of last year. My girlfriend is 27, and she's a beautiful, passionate, and intelligent person. She is also creative and passionate in the way my late wife was never. Exceptionally charming in her good days. However, she is also troubled, and that has rendered her unable to keep a steady job. She has no trouble landing jobs, but she'd only stay an average of 2 weeks. She is highly reactive to the thought of abandonment, and no matter how much love I give her, it's like she takes my actions and words and twists them into something sinister, and then reacts to it. Which means yelling, calling friends, and telling them lies about me, talking about me as if I'm not present to my kids. I've lost friends over her behavior because she'd have days where she'd show up and refuse to talk to anybody because she felt rejected by something. Even left bad reviews on a mutual friend's business because she accused us of seeing each other. We were not even in the same state during that supposed time period. She has had trauma that has made her paranoid. That has devolved into her feeling like she's being followed to and from work, so she quits. I let her contract 2 security companies for our house, but she still feels followed and just sits monitoring the cameras. She also obsessively searches every bag in the house for trackers and dumps out groceries because she feared tampering. This paranoia has resulted in her ending up in court because she's confronted innocent people accusing them of following her. I made the decision to put her in therapy and she just got out of a voluntary inpatient program. The family therapist approved of my decision to rent a condo for her while she continues therapy. The condo has 24/7 security and I visit her often. However, I miss her and want her back in my house. This isn't some fling, I want a future with her. And I saw that my daughter had texted my GF saying, "I know you are a good person, keep up the good work." So, I thought despite them having conflict with my girlfriend, my kids would be willing to welcome her back. So yesterday while my kids were celebrating the 4th I helped move my girlfriend's stuff back in. However, when my kids got home, they both sprinted to my daughter's room and whispered for a half hour. Then they came down when my girlfriend went to get takeout and said they cannot believe I'd let her back, especially before the therapist says she is stable. I defended myself saying I thought they said she was an intelligent good person. They said that she means well but so many things she's done are wrong and hard to forgive. I told them we needed to be there for her and not give up, and they said they will not forget this, and there's worse things than loneliness. AITA? She's never physically threatened my kids.
Well son, I hate to tell you but y'all is a cow patty. I mean you moved her in even though you knew that your youngings and the little lady had some mighty big problems. You should have discussed it with them first. When it comes to your girlfriend, I do believe she needs help, and I'm sorry to say, but I plumb reckon that it's more help than you or even a therapist can provide. Our next one is from a young buckaroo whose ex-girlfriend, who's now married, has just thrown herself at him, and he says, but there's a problem. Do y'all reckon the problem just might be that she's married?
My now married ex-GF threw herself at me, but there's a big problem. I'm 34, and my ex is 36. Me and my ex met in my later 20s while working at a hospital and dated on and off for a while until exclusively dating for about 18 months. She was only my first long relationship. I'd always been a serial dater/hookup person, but I really cared for her, I loved her, I would have married her if we had a little more time together. Then COVID hit. She took a job as a traveling nurse. We broke up but were on reasonable terms. Along the way she met someone, and, in my opinion, hastily got married. She seemed happy and was now 1,500 miles away. Since then, we loosely kept in touch via FB. Last year I attended a wedding and while talking to another single attendee discovered she was my ex's younger cousin, who was 30. We talked a bit about my ex and her cousin blamed me for ex leaving, that I had pushed her away, etc. I didn't agree with her assessment, but I could understand how someone might interpret the end of our relationship. It was complex. Cousin did not like me. Towards the very end of the night, both of us a little tipsy but not drunk, she grabbed my arm and said, "I really don't like you, but I need to dance," and we danced to a song, then stayed there for a slow song, and holding her there was just something crazy looking into each other's eyes. We ended up practically running to my hotel room, barely said a word to each other, and had an absolutely amazing night. Maybe every month or so, we hook up. No dinner, barely conversation, we just find a place and get to it. I'm able to oblige her kinks, it is just physical, there is nothing deeper going on. So far so good. 2 weeks ago, my ex moved back, with her husband, for work. She still had my phone number, texted me asking if I'd meet her for coffee and to catch up. We met on Wednesday, and she wasted no time. She hated her life, she hated her husband, everything she had done since we split up was a mistake, she regretted the way we split. She told me she's divorcing him ASAP, she doesn't need him for anything, and she wants to be with me. She initiated a very deep, passionate kiss. While holding my hand she asked if we could go have a drink or go to my place, and I knew where that was going and said we should just slow down a little bit. She later sent me some very risque photos. I would give up everything with her cousin in a heartbeat if it meant getting back with ex. But I don't know how she would react if I told her about the hookups. On one hand she was married, on the other hand it was her cousin. I could try and keep my mouth shut and stop things with her cousin, but I have a feeling she would probably blab out of revenge. Do I tell ex about it right away? Do I wait and see? Do I not say anything and hope for the best? I really don't have any friends I trust telling this situation to, so I'm asking you all how you'd approach it. Thanks.
Well, partner, I reckon you do have a few issues. So, here's what I think y'all should do. Tell your married ex about her cousin ASAP. She'll be a mite upset with you, but it's better than the alternative, 'cause she'll find out soon enough, and if y'all don't fess up to it, I do reckon her anger will be over the top. But I will advise you to be a mite bit careful if you choose to move forward with her. I'd tell her to ease a bit up on the reins, and that she can call y'all when she's divorced and not before. Next, we got one by a little lady that's having a few problems with her future granny-in-law.
My grandmother-in-law freaked out at me and my BF because she doesn't think I'd be a good wife. For some background, me and my BF are both 22, and we have just moved into his grandparents' house 6 days ago because they offered us no rent, and were generally very supportive of the idea, as they were the ones who recommended we do this in the first place. We were previously living on our own and renting our own apartment, but severely struggling due to working full-time to pay the bills and going to college. To start off, we moved in with his grandparents 6 days ago, and everything has been perfect. And I mean perfect. We have started saving money due to no longer having to pay rent, we applied to multiple jobs, and we have both graduated recently prior to moving. His grandparents have been exceptionally sweet and supportive of us. They offer us food almost every day as his grandma cooks an astounding amount. They offer us flowers from their garden and generally offer to give us a lot. That being said, we don't ask for any of it. We are used to living on our own and doing our own thing, so this has been very nice, and we have accepted most of their offers, but we don't need these things. Earlier today, we went strawberry picking. This is a big part of the story, just hold on, and I cut up all the strawberries, after giving his grandparents some, and froze them for us to make smoothies out of. I put the overripe strawberries and the tops of the ones I cut off into their compost bin they use for their own gardens, as his grandpa recommended I do. About an hour later, his grandma yells down the stairs for my boyfriend to come up and talk to her. He goes up, and about 5 minutes after I follow. I walk upstairs to hear her yelling at him about how I cut the strawberries wrong, and how I am extremely wasteful. She then goes on about how I will make a terrible wife. I'm not joking, because I don't cook 3 times a day for him. I don't make the bed in the morning. We live downstairs, so she had to have come downstairs when we weren't home to check the room, and I do nothing all day. After she saw that I was upstairs, she proceeded to repeat all of that to my face and add on that I should be doing all of this for him as I am the woman in the relationship. The one thing that stuck with me because she kept on repeating it, was that I do nothing all day, nothing. Which is wrong. I do the cleaning, laundry, groceries, and we usually take turns cooking. Although admittedly my boyfriend used to do most of the cooking due to me working long hours. We haven't cooked much since we moved down because she offers us food every single day for almost every meal. So maybe that one I understand? Although we have never asked her for anything. I don't know, her temper came out of nowhere and honestly scared me a bit. One thing is for sure, she was very mad at me and only me. I've never seen her react this way to anything as she is usually very well-mannered and well-tempered. What do you think is going on here? Dementia? Do I have a right to be angry she treated me this way?
Well, y'all know that's why I married my wife, 'cause she can cut strawberries real proper like. Seriously though, I think y'all may want to have a little old chat with your grandpa-in-law. It does seem a mite bit strange that she flipped the switch on y'all like that, so he might be able to offer y'all some insight. Last but not least, we have one from a little filly that wants to know if she's a cow patty because she chewed out a single paw because she felt he wasted her time by asking her out. Well now, I used to get that all the time when I was single. All because they couldn't see my face on account of my hat. Some women folk are just so picky.
AITA for telling off a single dad for wasting my time by asking me on a date. I recently went on a date with Dale. I'm a professional woman in my late 20s and I'm looking to finally focus on dating after having spent the last 10 years going to college, building a career, buying a house, etc. I have pretty high standards that I also meet, so I try not to be an AH if someone doesn't meet all the criteria. I kind of went off on Dale though because I feel like he deliberately wasted my time. In my online dating profile, I have listed that I'm child-free, and I'm not looking to pursue a relationship with anyone who has kids. I don't ever want kids and I don't like them at all. I know some people think that women who don't like kids are the devil, but it's my life and all that. In Dale's profile he has, not interested in single moms, which I thought was great. I asked him about it, and he said he usually doesn't like kids and wouldn't make a good stepdad. Sounds good, right? I guess I didn't explicitly ask if he had kids, but all the signs pointed to no. He asked me on a date knowing that I wouldn't date a single dad. We chat for a few days, go out to dinner. We're having a great time. He asks at the end if I'd split the bill since he was tight on money from paying child support. First off, I planned on splitting the bill before I even got there. I don't let men pay for me on first dates. I kind of yelled at Dave and asked if he even read my profile, especially the part where I said, no single dads, basically. He said yes, he read it but thought it would be fine since he only has his kids one day a month. I asked him if admitting to being a deadbeat dad who isn't raising his kids was supposed to console me. I thanked him for wasting my time, and left cash with the waitress. I've been really angry about the whole thing. My friends are super divided about this. I don't want to waste my time going on dates where I know we have no future. It feels inappropriate to quiz someone before a date about all my deal breakers. Do you have or want kids? How much money do you make? Do you own property, etc. But at the same time, why waste my time when it's obvious I don't want children in my life? AITA here? I feel like I was right to go off on him, so he learns his lesson and doesn't waste another child-free woman's time. Edit, my exact words weren't, no single dads. My exact words were, not looking to pursue a relationship with anyone who has or wants kids, so yeah. Message was conveyed.
Well ma'am, for one, I don't think you're a monster just because you ain't into youngings. Some folks just ain't into the whole being a ma thing, which is fine, it's y'all's choice. As for y'all's date, nah, y'all ain't a cow patty there either. I mean, y'all was straight up with this tenderfoot, and he totally ignored what y'all's profile said. Maybe he just reckoned that he was so charming that y'all would just overlook the whole kid thing. It was his mistake, not yours. Well, I plumb reckon that's all the time we got today, but if y'all like this here video then please, hit like and subscribe, it'll really make this old cowpoke smile. And if y'all got anything to say, then feel free to tell me what's on your mind down in the comments. Until y'all come back to the Reddit Ranch. Adios.